What's good? What's good? I'm back live for Fayetttenam Friday. How's everybody doing out there? Weather's kind of a little hot today. Humid in the Carolinas. We had a lot of rainy weather for a while, but looks like we're back to the hot weather. Give me one sec. I got to post to this real quick. I'm supposed to have a guest on tonight, but I haven't heard back from him yet. And make sure y'all go check out the interview I did last night with Lord Zen, also known as Realism. Realism, aka Lord Zen of the Visionaries, based out of the West Coast. Some of y'all might know him if you're a real hip hop head like me. You definitely know the Visionaries. Let me message him real quick, see if he's still good. And if not, I got a topic. A topic I want to go over. I posted a video and it deals with marketing and promotion of music, like the typical budgets that it takes to market and promote music. Let's see if he's on and whatnot. All right, let's see if he gets that message and gets that link. Don't forget, I always go live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Audio version will go to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, TuneIn, Stitcher, Slacker, iHeartRadio, Player FM, and much, much more. Also, follow me on TikTok, Rumble, BitChute, and much, much more. Just Google Live from Fayetttenam, and I'm pretty much the only thing that'll come up. Also, follow Paul Pickett Podcast, aka Triple P, on all the same platforms. If you like combat sports or bare knuckle fight interviews, definitely check it out. Paul Pickett Podcast on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram as well. Also, check out the Dizzle brand premium luxury liqueur. Dizzle is a premium luxury liqueur mixed with agave tequila, cognac, and orange liquor mango mix. Throw your Dizzle on ice and it's nice. Want to order your very own bottle or bottles, go to dizzlebrand.com. I got one of the t-shirts on right now. Dizzle established in 2001. Originally, that's when the drink was made, but it was bottled up roughly about 3 years ago, I think, that we've had Dizzle bottled up. Maybe, yeah, about 2 to 3 years. So doesn't look like my guest is gonna come on tonight. I messaged him yesterday to see if we was good. He didn't message back. I'm gonna give him a little bit of time. Last time I interviewed somebody from the West Coast and they didn't show up. They kind of got the times wrong as far as Eastern and Pacific time. Cali is like 3 hours behind us, so it's 7 p.m. Eastern out here, and it's 4 p.m. Eastern out there. Oh, there we go. So let me introduce our guest. He's based out of the West Coast, and he's 1/3 of the members of the Dove Shack, who was a hip hop R&B group out of Long Beach. Let's bring on the one and only Bo Rock of the Dove Shack. Bo Rock, how you doing, man?
What up? What up? What up? What up? I'm good, man.
How's
I'm
the weather?
blessed, highly favored.
How's the weather out there?
Hot as usual. Like my boy C Night, rest in peace. Say, damn, it's hot than a mother.
That's
You
what's
know,
up.
California weather.
Well, I appreciate you taking time out to do this interview.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I want to
I
start here.
appreciate y'all having me.
Definitely, man. You know, we had back in the '90s, almost every single and every album came out, man. We had we had y'all's album, we had y'all's single. You
Uh,
know, over here in
actually,
the East Coast, we love.
today is the
Go ahead.
anniversary of when today is actually the anniversary of when Summertime in the LBC came out.
Exactly today.
Exactly today. That's why I chose
Damn.
today. Today is exactly today. It came to show soundtrack dropped today. The single came out today, August 15th.
Well, it's perfect timing then.
Yes.
So I want to start here. Where the name Bo Rock come from?
Um, Crazy story. Um, my original name was Lil Spanky after my older brother. Okay. Um, Now I don't know if you remember the whole Bo Jackson thing. Remember there was a big thing about Bo Jackson. Bo knows this, Bo
Yeah, Bo
knows that.
knows. Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah.
had a commercial. Okay. That's what they end up start calling me. Okay, because I
Okay,
was in the streets, I was a young thug, but I was hella smart. You feel what
okay.
I'm saying? So, I was a good student in school as far as when I was attending class and whatnot, but I was very smart. So that used to be the thing that they call me as teasing me. Bo knows. Ask Bo knows. You know what I'm saying? Bo knows. That's Mr. Know It All. Bo knows. Bo knows. And I actually took it offensive because, I used to get teased about my nose when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? I used to get teased about my nose. So I didn't really like the bow nose. So I'm sitting there one day talking to my homeboy Crypto. We in Los Padrinos Juvenile Hall. And he was like, man, you should
uh,
put rock on the end of your name. It'll sound better with the rock on the end of it. Cause
yeah.
you got that big old hard head. You know what I'm saying? You hard headed, you rock headed, and that's where I adapted it from. I came up with it as a juvenile, you know what I'm saying, by the homie Crypto suggestion. It went from Bo Nose to Bo Rock. And it's just that's been my moniker ever since. I was what, 14 at the time, 14, 15 years old.
That's actually a funny story.
Yeah. And I just thought it would stick as a music name too. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Because, it was significant with rocking the mic. I come up,
yeah.
I'm 90s era, you know what I'm saying? So my era of growing up was Run DMC, Eric B and Rakim, all that KRS-One, big, East Coast music rap fan. So,
Yeah.
everybody, back then the big word was rock the mic, rock the mic. So I just started it fit on my music moniker as well as bringing it from my street moniker.
So let's get into the Dove Shack name.
Yeah.
Who came up with the Dove Shack, and exactly what does that mean? The Dove Shack.
C Night. C
C
Night,
Night.
our
Okay.
founder, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? All right. The original name of the group was Three Deep.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That was the original name of the group. And it was C Night, Two Scoop, and the other homie Scrap. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
From Ken Folks. At this time, I was incarcerated, when they had the name and they first started the rap group. Um, the Dove Shack
Yeah.
was an actual spot. It was the hangout spot. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? That was C Knight's grandmama house. If you look at our original album cover, we are standing on top of the Dove Shack. We
Okay.
as the Dove Shack, or that was the significance of us standing on the roof of the house, because the house is actually the Dove Shack. You know what I'm saying? The garage area is where we actually kicked it at. They had a big garage. It was C Knight's grandmama house. And we
Mhm.
converted the garage into a mini like nightclub. We put carpet in there. We had the big Saren Vega speakers up in there. We had the little mini bar up in there, couches, the whole shebang, and like a little mini studio up in there. And our big thing was freestyle rapping, freestyle rapping. We was known around Long Beach for freestyle rapping and battle rapping throughout Long Beach. Our hood where we from the same hood Snoop is from, Goldie
Okay.
Low, you know what I'm saying? Everybody. We all from, Long Beach, from the Dove. You know what I'm saying? So the Dove Shack was the hood kick it spot. You know what I'm saying? Where we threw functions at, we threw parties all throughout high school and whatnot. The homie C Night and them was throwing parties at his grandmama house, backyard boogie parties. You know what I'm saying? And the parties would be at the Dove Shack.
Okay.
You feel me? It would be at the Dove Shack. So when the homie Scrap left the group, and I was part of them, but I was part of the Dove Shack crew, the Big Nuts crew. but I wasn't
Mhm.
officially in that group. I was my own solo artist, and back then I was more on rapping on some, more militant, what I'm saying, think X Clan type of, what I'm
Yeah.
saying, early Ice Cube, America's Most Wanted. What I'm saying? I was heavily influenced by that. What I'm saying? So that's where my lane was at that particular time, and Two Scoop came up with the idea, like, man, we was at the beach one day chilling, what I'm saying? He came with the idea like, no, you need to be part of me and C Night, what I'm saying? Not just a member of the crew, because there's a bunch of us. People don't know that. The Dove
Yeah.
Shack is actually larger than just us three members. We got the
Okay.
homie Rick Rock, rest in peace, the homie Nutty Wayne, rest in peace. What I'm saying? The homie P-Lo, what I'm saying? Lil Nutty Wayne, the list just goes on. The Young Dove Shack down in San Diego, like our crew is big, but we came out as the rappers, us three, and Two Scoop, from Warren G getting that Two Scoop and wanting us to be on his album, you know. Initially, crazy enough, I didn't find out till actually last year that we were actually a substitute on Warren G's album for
Uh-huh.
the Dog Pound. The Dog
Oh,
Pound didn't
okay.
get cleared for Warren G's album. So he reached out to us because we were known in Long Beach. Like I said, we were a battle group, and we were a freestyle group, like supernatural freestyle, not this new version of freestyle. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Where you just rap over anybody's beat. Our freestyle was we made up our lyrics as we went along. We rap about what you had on. We rap about who was standing right there in the crowd. You know what I'm saying? We take part of your lyrics on what you said to us and put it in our rap and turn it back on you. We was really a freestyle group, you know. And so Warren G was like, I want y'all on the album, but y'all all three got to be on the same song,
Okay.
So we formed as the Dove Shack Music Group to feature on Warren G's album, you know. And from there, the rest is history, because we didn't even have a demo. We wasn't even shopping a demo at the time. It's just that, that blessing from, Warren G opening up that door for us led to Def Jam wanting to sign us and, put us on.
And that was gonna be my next question was, like, how did y'all end up on Warren G's? Now, you rap and sing though, right?
Yes. Singing is my first love.
Okay.
I grew up singing, my mom sung, ironically enough, when I was a youngster, I actually went to church with Ray J and Brandy. We all went to the same church, and Ray J and Brandy's dad was like my singing idol growing up as a young kid. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Willie Wade Norwood, and at Southside Church of Christ, they he was he's their vocal coach now. He's a well-known vocal coach throughout the music industry. But before I ever got trained by him, I was
Uh-huh.
trained by him. Just him being my idol, what I'm saying, and me trying to mimic his singing skills. That's how I started off. And then rap for me didn't really come along to I would say um the first rap song I really like was just on was probably I Ain't No Joke by Eric B and Rakim. I was hip to UTFO and like I said,
Mhm.
everybody, but Eric B and Rakim, I Ain't No Joke. I end up actually learning that by heart. And as a kid, when you a youngster and you like 10, 11, 12, and you rapping, what I'm saying, rap is new, you rapping somebody else's rap. You might put your own little piece up
Yeah,
in
yeah.
there, but as a kid, you rapping somebody else famous rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So Rakim's rap on I Ain't No Joke was the first rap that I learned top to bottom. And I used to flow it like it was my own rap, and then that just naturally progressed into me writing raps and wanting to rap and just, going that route as far as, okay, I'm gonna sing and rap because I can do both of them.
Now, when y'all came out, was there any other groups out that had rappers and a singer in it?
The Fugees.
The
That's ac-
Fugees.
yeah, that's actually what Chris Lighty called us when Chris Lighty um, first heard us at the lab with Warren G. He made a phone call, and we were described as like a West Coast Fugees. We they reminiscent of a West Coast version of the Fugees, because at that time the Fugees was only they had Prize, Wyclef, and then Lauren rapped and sung, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but outside of that, there was before that, there was 213, what I'm saying, in the hood with Nate Dogg singing, what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Nate Dogg didn't rap though, but Nate Dogg was always putting vocals down on songs, even before any of us got a record deal. Some of those songs, later songs that y'all heard from the Dog Pound throughout the years, is some songs that were remade that was original songs that them guys had in the neighborhood, already that they was rapping on, Snoop was rapping on, and Warren G had did the beat and Nate Dogg was singing on it.
So, who invented what y'all call G Funk?
Cocaine.
Cocaine?
Cocaine from Cocaine from Above the Law from
Above the law. Yeah.
Pomona. That's a Pomona thing. That's I say Cocaine popularized it. I believe the whole Above the Law crew came up with that terminology,
Okay, G Funk.
G funk. Yeah. And they took Warren G and Snoop up under the wing in the early years, before Death Row and all that stuff, and showed them the music game, to an extent. So that's where Warren G and all of us ended up adapting the G Funk, what I'm saying, sound from Pomona. But the terminology G Funk, that's a Pomona thing. It started in Pomona with Above the Law and Cocaine. They the ones who came up with the terminology. We just end up popularizing it worldwide. Especially Warren G through his 6.5 million records being sold. He popularized it worldwide. So it ended up sticking with him,
Yeah.
as far as G Funk, but he's not the originator or the founder of G Funk by far. That goes to Above the Law and
But
Cocaine.
he was definitely like the guy who peaked the highest with the G Funk sound because that Regulator single was huge, yo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's the
Gosh,
he's
that
the
record was
I
so huge.
mean, the as far as pushing G Funk itself,
Yeah.
the terminology G Funk, yeah, there's nobody who did it bigger than Warren, but the biggest person I would say that did G Funk is Dr. Dre. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? You got to remember that even to this very day, Hutch from Above the Law and Dr. Dre are close. You know what I'm saying? That goes back to the NWA days and before NWA. You know what I'm saying? They had their connection. So, what I'm saying? Dr. Dre would be the biggest thing that ever come up out of G Funk. Then but as far as pushing the terminology G Funk, nobody did it like Warren G. Warren G even had to go to court and battle against Garth Brooks over that G,
I didn't
because
know that.
Garth Brooks once upon a time tried to sue him for using the whole G that he uses in G Funk.
Yeah. Sue somebody over a letter. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So y'all dropped the album in '95. Your number one single off of that was "Summertime" in the LBC featuring Arnita Porter. Did y'all instantly know that would be the single when y'all recorded it?
No. Funny story, we didn't want that to be the single. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? We actually wanted a rap single, you know. Summertime in the LBC was originally created by myself. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? That's a Bo Rock solo song, with just
It
me
sounds like
and
it. It sounds like
yeah,
it.
it's
Yeah.
just me and Nita P. There's a version on the album with just me and Nita P. There's no rapping on it, C Night talking in the beginning and Two Scoop talk at the end, but you know, um, that was a song that I created myself, and Nita P or Nita Porter at the particular time was working at Def Jam West for Paul Stewart, PMP Records, who was the label that really discovered Warren G, Coolio, Montel Jordan, you know, DJ Paul Stewart. Shouts out to him, a big factor in the West Coast scene blowing up during the 90s, you know. But what he had an office on 3rd and Beverly in Beverly Hills, and Nita P used to be the secretary there. Okay.
Okay.
Now she was cool. She had just came from North Carolina or South Carolina,
Okay.
and moved to LA to work in the music industry. So she was always cool people every time we came to the office. Dove Shack group, what a lot of people don't know, we a jokester group too. You know what I'm saying? We bag on each other, we crack jokes, you know what I'm saying? We the life of the party. That's why we threw parties. You know what I'm saying? We was a fun group to be around at times. So we come into the office, it's a light mood in the office. And she used to always say, oh yeah, I can sing too. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have a sing off when they own some joking stuff. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
then happened to one day, a young lady I was dating at the time braided hair, and Nita P had came over to get her hair braided at the house, on the day that I wrote Summertime in the LBC. I was actually writing it, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, you know what? And I was thinking to myself, you know what, it sound dope? A female singing on here with me, you know? Because I didn't like the song at first. Wasn't feeling the beat when I
A
first got
friend
it
of
from
mine I
y'all.
was talking to today said the same thing. He didn't like the song at first, but it grew on him.
Yeah, I didn't like the beat didn't immediately grab me. You got to remember, this
Yeah.
is the beginning of the G Funk era blowing
Yeah.
up. So everything that we own is the Dr. Dre sound. You feel what I'm saying? That
Mm.
the boom 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 blah, blah. It ain't no that type of, you know what I'm saying, that DJ Quick type of sound. That
Yeah.
sound, that's the sound that we wanted to come out on as far as our first single. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of tracks we was looking for. And the homies Hank and Lamont, shout out to them, who produced Summertime in the LBC. They produced some other records on our album. So we was jumping on those other records, like, oh yeah, they'll come with that. Oh yeah, we own that. We own that. We own that. And it was the homie Pilo, that I told you, one of the other members from the Dove Shack that don't rap. He happened to
Uh-huh.
be, I left the tape inside of his car, the tape of the beat. And he had a
Yeah.
Monte Carlo with a major sound system in it. And he was coming out to my house one day and was playing that tape. And when he got there, he was like, "Cut that beat hard. Man, you got to do something on that beat. That beat, I had it bumping in the MC. Oh, it was rumbling. I'm telling you, you got to do something on that." And I gave it another listen in some headphones. And when
Yeah.
I listened to it in the headphones, they had the big headphones like these I use right now for the podcast scene. You know what I'm saying? They had these for the stereo,
Yeah.
and so I slapped it in the headphones and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is smooth. This is like, okay, I like the bass line, I like the whole groove of this." And it gave me a summertime feel. So on that particular day, I happened to be writing a song. She happened to be there getting her hair braided. I was like, okay, yeah, you be talking about you can sing. I'm finna write you a part to this song. And so I actually wrote her verse. I wrote the whole
Mhm.
song, and I wrote it from a perspective of a hood nigga at that time. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? My mentality is still like what the Long Beach mentality. It ain't no fun if the
Yeah.
homies can't have none. We don't love them hoe. So the the way I wrote her verse initially, she was like, I ain't singing that shit like that. I ain't finna sing that like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't me. I ain't built like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wrote it from what we know today as a thought perspective. I wrote it from a thought
Yeah.
perspective. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, no, I'm not singing it like that. So I was like, okay, well, alter it how you want to alter it. You know what I'm saying? Change it up how you want to change it up. You know what I'm saying? And she did. And that was the birth of the song. And it wasn't until an argument in New York at Def Jam offices to where we knew it was going to be the first single We were out there in New York. We was out there with Lior had flew us out there, and we had just cut a couple of records with Jam Master Jay, introduced, and we was out there moving, shaking. So we had a meeting, and so we thinking, we got a song with Jam Master Jay. We got this song over here. We got this song over here. You know what I'm saying? Daz did a beat for us and whatnot. Yeah, we finna because we talking about the lineup on how this finna drop. Yeah, we pumped up. Yeah, well, yeah, 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 yeah. And Lior tell us, yeah, we're gonna go with the summertime in the LBC. And we had a cow. I mean, we raised fucking. When I say we raised hell, I'm talking about jumping up and off. Fuck that, cuz ain't nobody gonna tell us nothing. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Fuck that to where, you know what I'm saying? And the funny story is, shout out to my boy C Night, rest in peace again. I remember Lior pulling our coattail, man. And Lior did the most gangsterish shit that I've known a human being to be able to do. And I'm from the hood for real.
Uh-huh.
He was not he was not intimidated by our big asses running, ranting, standing up, all our pants sagging. We fresh out the hood. You know what I'm saying? And we own this shit. Like I said, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get a music deal coming out of Pelican Bay. For those in California, y'all know what Pelican Bay is. I was in Pelican Bay at 18 years old. That's what
Yeah.
type of turn up time I was on. You feel what I'm saying? And I paroled from Pelican Bay in 2003 and ended up getting in the situation of the music business, you know what I'm saying, which basically saved my life, you know. So we on some like rah rah. It ain't nobody, no, we not fearing nobody. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody we scared of. Period, point blank. There's nobody you can call to the office that we fear. No, nothing. Not in this whole entire industry. We fear nobody. Anybody who want it, you can have those problems. Lior ass sat there and looked at us like we was crazy. He literally did like this, like, you done? Is that, you done? You done with that? That's the gangster. That was supposed to intimidate me. Was that supposed to scare me or anything that did? He was like, no, that doesn't impress me. Okay. He was like, let me tell you what gangster is. He said, I can't remember the exact words, but he made a reference to gangster is when his wife wants spaghetti, he can put her on a plane and send her to Italy. Gangster is he can take me and all of our crew right up out of his office and put us right back on the street corners of Long Beach and make sure we never have a career in this music industry.
Holy shit. He
Gang,
said that to y'all?
yeah, he said gangster is I can make it to where your whole coast has a problem in this industry. That's gangster. But so we're not
Wow.
gonna talk. We're not gonna talk about gangster stuff here because this is not about that. This is business, okay? And I know my business, and I know how to run my business, and my business is making stars. Okay, I know how to make stars, and I know hit records when I hear hit records. Okay, so if you want to have a career in this industry, my advice is you have a seat and follow along with the things that I'm telling you because I'm trying to make you guys stars. I am not here to waste your time. I am trying to make you guys stars. And this song is a song that will make you a star. So this is the song that we're going to go with.
Well, was he
That was
right?
it.
I mean, because I'm looking at the
He was,
chartings on it.
hey, like,
It
hey, that was the
charted
end of that
37 in
conversation, bro.
yeah, charted
That was the end of
37
that
in US
conversation.
R&B, 11 in US
Yeah.
rap. It was almost a top 10 record in hip hop at the time.
Yeah. Well, check this out, bro. Put it like this. I signed up for Spotify artists
Uh-huh.
maybe like 3 years ago, 2, 3 years ago.
Mhm.
Okay. And when you get your analytics when you sign up for Spotify artists. And when I seen the numbers of 47 million streams on a song that I put out 30 years ago, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know damn well Leor knew what the hell he was talking about,
Yeah.
you know. And Hank and Lamont knew what they were talking about when they said it was a hit when they gave me the beat. You feel what I'm saying? And everybody else knew the song was a hit before I knew the song was a hit. Sometimes even today, it's 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 amazing to me on how that song touches people and how much people are in love with that song, it really boggles my mind because that was not the intent when I wrote the song. When I wrote the song, I was just writing from the heart on catching a feeling. It happened to
Mm.
be a hot ass fucking day on the day I wrote Summertime in the LBC. It was a hot ass fucking summer day. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the girl was getting her hair done at the house. You know what I'm saying? So, back then, black people, with the thing, you got to turn when you do hair. If anybody know about braids, any of the females know, you dunk the braids and do all that. So you got to have a pot of boiling water on and all that. So it's already hot in the apartment, AC not working, and you got boiling water on. You know what I'm saying? And it just made me feel like, you know what the thought was in my head when I started writing Summertime in the LBC? The scene out of Spike Lee's movie, Do the Right Thing, when Rosie Perez and Spike Lee was in the room, and I guess they had just got done fucking. They was getting ready to fuck, and it was hot as hell, and both of them was sweaty as fuck. Both of them was sweaty as fuck, arguing over the fan. Okay, and Do the Right Thing. That scene right there is the scene that I pictured in my head going on that day that inspired me to write the song. And what I wrote about was basically that's what turned it into a summer song. Cause the heat, me thinking about that scene out the movie, okay, this should be a summer song. You know what I'm saying? A song about the summer. And then I'm like, okay, well, what am I gonna write about? My summer growing up in Long Beach. What summers was like growing up in Long Beach. You know what I'm saying? And I done met a lot of other people throughout my lifetime, especially in the streets, in and out of prison and whatnot. Being in, I met a lot of people throughout my lifetime who grew up kind of the same way I did. It's like more. It's like that Ghetto Boy song. The world is a ghetto. You feel what I'm
Mhm, yeah.
saying? So I wrote it not knowing but not knowing that it was a song that everybody growing up summer times in different hoods, in different places around the world was experiencing, having water balloon fights as a kid. That's some common ass shit. You feel what I'm saying? um
Yeah.
but the reason I threw low riders and east siders up in there, what a lot of people don't know is because it was a big thing in Long Beach to have water balloon fights amongst grown ass teenagers. You know what I'm saying? We talking about motherfuckers 25, 26 acting like kids, throwing water balloons at people low riders, you know what I'm saying? And it turned from water balloon fights to egg fights. You know what I'm saying? Where people trying to egg your low rider and mess off your paint on your low rider or your car. You know what I'm saying? But dudes was throwing water balloons at girls' hair who thought their hair was done, and girls throwing water balloons at dudes' outfits, and all this. This is junior high school type of, you know what I'm saying, going actions going on. So I decided to write about, the things I knew about growing up in summer, and it just so happened it's a lot of other people's summers too, growing up.
So y'all second album didn't drop to like 2006 called Reality Has Got Me Tied Up. What was going on with y'all guys within that 11-year span?
I was incarcerated in prison. I ended up going
You were
back to prison.
incarcerated, okay.
I went back to
So y'all
prison in
couldn't do
1998.
that, put all the group
Um,
albums on hold?
yeah, that kind of put everything on hold. But here's the thing: Reality's Got Me Tied Up was never actually officially released in the U.S.
Okay.
That's an overseas album. This is
Okay.
why you can most people you can find it like before I know before the digital era and the streaming era came about. You know what I'm saying? You had to get that album off of like eBay or something like that for like 50, $60.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't even available in the United States. We did a deal with a company called JVC. Well, everybody know JVC, the sound company.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? JVC has a record label in Japan, and so we ended up doing a record deal with them to exclusively release Reality's Got Me Tied Up over there because we were going through situations with Def Jam at the time, you know, and we were exercising. We had a clause in our contract, shout out to Katie Washington, our attorney at the time. But we had a clause in our contract to basically where you couldn't sit us on the shelf. When we got signed to Def Jam, the first thing we heard about was what happened with Nice and Smooth, and how they
And what
did
was
Nice
that?
and Smooth. Well, Nice and Smooth got sat on the shelf. They had some issues with Def Jam. They went up there and pulled the Ice Cube move. You know how Ice
Hmm.
Cube and them went up there to Priority and tore the
Yeah.
office up. They went up there and did that at Def Jam, and they got put on the shelf. And for people who don't know what getting put on the shelf is, it's um, it's when you sign. Say for instance, you sign for 3 albums, and you on your second album. I decide not to accept anything you turn in for your third album, and so you just stuck in limbo. You can't go sign
Yeah.
another record deal because you signed to me, and we not putting out nothing that you bring to us. We don't care how hot it is. Everything you bring in here is gonna automatically get denied. In fact, you're not even allowed to come up to the office. You're not even allowed to come up to the office. We're not gonna even communicate with you, you know. And you can call all the lawyers you want to. You can do all that at this particular time. People didn't know no better in the industry, but you can call all the lawyers you want to. We have a contract saying you don't get out this contract till you complete turning in 3 albums, and it's up to our discretion on accepting those 3 albums. So if
The
we don't
albums.
accept it,
Yeah.
we don't accept it. You can go and live the rest of your life. Go get a job. Go punch a clock. Go work at the radio station. You're just not gonna be putting out no records. And that's what happened to Nice and Smooth's career.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? That's what also happens to Rosie Gaines' career, the girl that sung on Diamonds and Pearls with Prince. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Prince wasn't he wasn't all okie dory either. He sat her on the shelf. They fell out and he sat her on the shelf. This is why you never heard her career go anywhere after the song Diamonds and Pearls. You know what I'm saying? Because she had a fallout with Prince and she was signed to Prince and he sat her on the shelf. So our lawyer made sure that we wasn't going to be in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, like I said, knew in the industry what happened with Nice and Smooth. We had Source magazine. That shit was all over Source and everything. You know, so a clause was in our contract to where if after a certain time period, after our first album release, Def Jam had so much time to have us in the studio and have a date for the release of our next album and have a budget for our next album, and so there was a lot of turmoil going on at the time between Warren G and Def Jam and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Shit just wasn't going right. Then the whole East Coast, West Coast thing popped off. So we just sat to the
Yep.
side quietly. We didn't say nothing. We're not gonna rattle the cage, you know what I'm saying, or say nothing because Lior at the time wanted to do a solo album on me. And though I was interested in it, I wasn't interested in it at the particular time because I
Hmm.
felt that we had got done dirty on Summertime in the LBC and the way that they released Summertime in the LBC. They released Summertime in the LBC as the second single from the show soundtrack a week before our
Okay.
album dropped, or a week before our album dropped.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So the majority of the billboards and advertisements that was ran for Summertime in the LBC featured on the show soundtrack,
Yeah.
not on the Dove Shack album. You know what I'm saying? So even though that song took the show soundtrack to double, triple platinum status, you know what I'm saying? Our album sales suffered because of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It took
because
us
they
so long.
used it to promote the show album instead of promoting y'all's album. Because singles are supposed to be to
Exactly.
sell your album, not the
Yeah,
soundtrack album.
exactly. So I seen, you know what I'm saying, how they did us dirty. And I was with Leon on some, I was basically like on some, nah, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? We can do a solo album, you know what I'm saying, but you gotta do us right first on our first album because you're not finna leave my guys for dead like that. I'm not finna leave my guys for dead like that. You're not gonna fuck us on the first album and shit on us
Yeah.
and pull that slick shit that y'all did, whether it was you or Russell, because both of y'all pointing the fingers at each other. You feel what I'm saying? Whether it was you or Russell, whoever decided to make that decision to push the majority of the advertisement towards the show soundtrack instead of our album, and that song was featured on our album. You know what I'm saying? You can see it real small on the posters and the billboards in the corner, also featured on the Dove Shack album, This Is the Shack. You know what I'm saying? But the big ass, gigantic Summertime in the LBC featured on the show,
Yeah.
you know?
Industry rule 10,080.
Yeah. So I didn't feel that they did us right by that. I wasn't interested in doing a solo project at that time until I felt they did us right. You know what I'm saying? Lior at that time was not interested in doing a second Dove Shack
Dove
project off
Shack.
bat. Yes, because there was, like I said, brewing tension between the whole East Coast, West Coast. There was brewing tension between Warren G and Def Jam. There was tensions and some stuff that happened with Paul Stewart and Def Jam. You know what I'm saying? So shit was just real ugly at that time. It was real ugly behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? So and then they did I watched them do Greedy Greg, Dirty. You know what I'm saying? Greedy Greg had a label over there. He had BG Knockout and Drayster. He had
Remember them?
Domino. And, yeah, and he had a group called YNV. And I watched how they played politics, how they was playing politics with the West Coast artists. Like we were disposable. You know what I'm saying? Like we wasn't getting the same treatment as the East Coast artists, even though we were signed to an East Coast label.
East Coast
You know what I'm
label.
saying? Yeah, we got love in the building of Def Jam to the utmost, from top to bottom, from like I said, Chris Lighty, Jam Master Jay, you know what I'm saying, Benny Rat, like you name it, we got love, but the overall tone and tension that was in the air at that time, you know what I'm saying, was bigger than the Dove Shack. You know what I'm saying? And so an incident happened to where, Warren G and Def Jam wasn't seeing eye to eye. And I'm like, okay, well, what position do we take? You know what I'm saying? Like we're not we G Funk, you know what I'm saying? Even though we're not signed directly paperwork to Warren G
Yeah.
Funk, we are G Funk. We G Funk
Yeah.
family. And we gonna ride with the fam bam. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all ain't fucking with Warren, you know what I'm saying? We ain't interested in
We ain't
fucking
fucking
with
with
y'all
y'all.
really. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so we decided to exercise that clause in our contract, you know what I'm saying, to get out of our situation with them. You know what I'm saying? And leave that behind because again, we wasn't gonna be in I wasn't gonna put us in a situation to where you turn around and okay, you want to do a Bo Rock project. You basically the same thing you was doing with Meth and Wu Tang. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? How they was pulling Method out of Wu Tang and to make Method Man his own person.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? The difference was Wu Tang wasn't signed to Def Jam. You feel what I'm
Nope.
saying?
They was kind of
They wasn't
loud.
signed. They was signed to Loud, and Loud was doing right by Wu Tang.
They
You feel what I'm
were. They
saying?
were.
You know what I'm saying? You just did us dirty. You know what I'm saying? It's like that saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on
Twice.
me.
Shame on me. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, okay, I just seen what y'all did to us. I seen what y'all did to Greedy Greg and his group YNV over the single I'm Going Down with because YNV had a version of I'm Going Down too when Mary was finna drop hers on her album. YNV's version was way better than Mary J. Blige's version. Way better. Okay. Somehow, somebody at Def Jam, I believe it was Russell or somebody, allowed Puff to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Immediately, Puff has a problem with it because
Of
that's
course he
supposed to
did.
be that's Mary J. Blige's second single that she's
Yeah.
coming out with. Okay. Now, what happens is they do a backdoor deal for the whole Mary J. Blige Method Man single, You're All I Need. That's where that whole collaboration comes from. And that collaboration happened, and Def Jam was able to take the majority of that collaboration because Puffy did that as a favor in return for Def Jam scrapping Y&V's project and scrapping
Wow.
that single. And
That's fucked up.
Greedy Greg went to bat for them and his artists, and that ended up putting his whole situation in jeopardy as well. You feel what I'm saying? But that's what
Yeah.
ended up happening to the group YNV. You know what I'm saying? Who's they featured on the Dove Shack album, Tupac album, and whatnot. YNV was about to blow up. They was going to be kind of big. So I seen the dirty politics behind the scene earlier on in the game that Def Jam was playing at that time. So I'm like, we
So
was like basically like we good.
so you just brought up a name, which kind of goes into my next question. I saw an interview you did with Cam Capone News. said you was an altercation with Pac and Suge Knight getting Warren G jumped. Which makes sense. You would be in the mix of the Death Row days. How crazy was the Death Row days?
Um, for me personally, not
Mm,
crazy at all. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
That's for me, it was everything was music industry shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I said, 2003, I'm paroling from Pelican Bay after doing 5 years in prison. You feel what I'm saying? I'm in a spot to where when you walk on the yard, there's a sign that's as big as a billboard that lets you know no warning shots. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm in a place where I'm watching dudes get, you know what I'm saying? What happened to Tory Lanez was a
Yeah.
daily occurrence where I was at. That was a daily thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's every day. Dudes getting their nose bit off in fights. You know what I'm saying? Police blowing people's heads off. Police throwing inmates down elevator shafts and shit like that. Like,
Damn.
you know what I'm saying? California prison system back then, you know what I'm saying? It didn't calm down till the shit hit the news and they found out that the deputies was having these paid fights at Corcoran back in the days. You know what I'm saying? But before that, you know, the California prison system was treacherous. It was sort of like, you know, Louisiana's prison system, you know. So for me, a lot of the stuff that was going on was music industry shit. I knew Heron them. The niggas that was around Suge, I knew
Mhm.
them. Okay. When I came home, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying this right now, you know what I'm saying? Suge is a fraud. Suge is a straight up fraud. Suge is a buster. Okay. And I knew Suge was a buster before I met Suge. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm in Pelican Bay. Me and my homie Bouncer, Big Bouncer, rest in peace. Our next door neighbor in Pelican Bay was China Dog, Marcus Nunn. You feel what I'm saying? From Suge's hood, Suge, big homie. You feel what
Mhm.
I'm saying? And I remember coming out my cell, we was going to go eat. And this was the first day Deep Cover had dropped. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I remember China Dog stopping us, like asking us, y'all know that he pointed at the screen. We had BET in Pelican Bay. You know what I'm saying, back then. So he pointed at the screen at the Snoop. He's like, yeah, that's your homeboy right there. That's your homeboy right there. You know what I'm saying? You seen that? Yeah, she got the Long Beach hat on. Yeah, he signed to one of my bitch ass homies. You know what I'm saying? And so my introduction words to about you while I was in
Uh,
Pelican Bay, my first introduction words to you was bitch ass homie, my bitch ass homie. You feel what I'm saying? And I know this nigga China Dog is a real one. He's a
yeah.
solid one. You feel what I'm saying? And it whatever stamp a solid motherfucker that I know is solid put on you, that's the stamp that's usually for real. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And so when I got out and I was around a lot of the stuff that they were involved in, to me, it was industry stuff. A lot of the ignorant stuff Suge was involved in. Snoop and all them wasn't really involved in a bunch of stuff, ignorant
Mhm.
stuff, not unless it was brought to them, from my understanding. You feel what I'm saying? Like they would had an incident at Venice Beach. I wasn't there for that and whatnot, but the Venice Showline Crips was tripping on them behind them being signed to a blood label. You know what I'm saying? Like they went through a lot as far as being Crips on death row being signed to a blood.
Blood
You feel
label.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah. So that was the stuff that they dealt with. You know, as far as the other antics of Suge and the shit that Suge was doing, to me, it's always been perceived as Buster shit. You know what I'm saying? You do Buster shit. You slap a motherfucker, but you got 30, you gonna slap two.
30
It's yeah,
motherfuckers. Yeah. What's
it's
somebody
two
gonna
dudes
do?
right here. You know what I'm saying? It's two dudes right here. The biggest dude that's in that crowd is 5'9" that you just slapped the shit out of. You 6'5", 300 something pounds. You feel what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And you got 30 bloods, you know what I'm saying, who built damn near like you, that's standing around you. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you slap a motherfucker, they jump forward. Oh, what you doing, blood? What you know what I'm saying? So to me, that was always Buster shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, the true Suge Knight, true colors came out once he didn't have them dudes around him. You know what I'm saying? When he got his ass knocked out in the club. You know what I'm saying? When he got his ass shot up. You know what I'm saying? When he got ran off from Dr. Dre's or the movie shoot from Compton. You know what I'm saying? When he ended up accidentally running that other dude over, taking his life. You feel what I'm saying? That's the real
Yeah.
Suge right there. You know what I'm saying? Not this big boogeyman that everybody, you know what I'm saying,
Everybody acting like
perceived
he
him as.
was. Yeah.
Now, not to take nothing from the actions that were going on, because a lot of them dudes that was around him was real ones, Montreal,
Yeah.
Heron, and a lot of them dudes, he had real niggas around him, real certified Bloods and Damus that was surrounding him. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot. But he himself, he
Was
wasn't
only as
built
tough
like
as
that.
his crew.
Man, you know what I'm
Like
saying?
if he didn't have a tough crew around him, he wasn't tough.
Man, bro, I seen him recently. I heard him recently on an interview on the same dude, Cam Capone News. I heard him on
Mm.
there talking about RBX and how RBX is dusty and all this old shit. You know what I'm saying? Number one, shout out to the homie RBX. He ain't nowhere near dusty. RBX is a real dude who stepped up and decided to take care of his elderly mother. You know what I'm saying? And put music and all that other shit on pause while he take care of his family like a real son is supposed to do. You feel what I'm saying? But why he don't talk about how RBX beat your ass? Yes, RBX, the narrator from the Dog Pound, beat Suge Knight's ass. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Beat his ass long before, you know what I'm saying? Everybody thought Suge was tough and all that. Yeah, they used to go to UNLV together. You feel what I'm saying? So I've never perceived any of the actions as, something that was super gangster, you know what I'm saying, or anything of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Because, outside of, you know, rolling around with your crew and jumping people and jumping music executives and beating up on people in the industry and pressuring people in the industry, what you done in the streets
Yeah.
to certify you like that? Nothing. You wasn't outside like that. You was playing football. You was a football star. That's how you end up going to NFL, because you was a football star. Your homies wouldn't even let you come outside and hang out like that. So I always thought that was, ignorant too. That's what I always thought too. I thought he was hella, hella dumb, hella fucking dumb, because you in that position that you in and you doing unnecessary things. Like, I was in Vegas when the shit happened at the MGM. You know what I'm saying? Me,
With Pac.
badass. Yeah, me,
Yeah.
badass, the homie Lil Bo. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was just going to hit Baby Lane up for some weed. You feel what I'm saying? Because we didn't have no more weed. We had smoked out all the weed. We were staying at the homie KP. KP, hello. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to KP, hello. You know what I'm saying? We were staying at his house at first. You know what I'm saying? With my brother Japori, rest in peace. We stayed there first, then we went and checked into Treasure Island. We went to the fight. I ended up having a fight with my brother um on the way back to the fight. We left to go to the Luxor to go grab our stuff and go no go to the what is that damn thing called? Not South Point, Treasure Island. Treasure
Okay.
Island is where we stayed at first. We seen E40 at the fight. 40 said he was having a party at the Luxor. 40 had the whole he had the Luxor sold up. And he told me he had some extra rooms over there. So we went to go grab our stuff from Treasure Island, you know what I'm saying, to go over to the Luxor. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't end up seeing Baby Lane. I was walking through the lobby. I seen a couple of the other homies. I seen Dre and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I hit Dre up for some weed. You know what I'm saying? It was well known in the Los Angeles area at that time that the South Sides, the Comptons had the weed. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? The South Side had all the weed. They had all the chronic long before it was legal. You know what I'm saying? The South Sides had it. So I see my boy Dre. You know what I'm saying? I go hit Dre up. You know what I'm saying? And he tell me Lane got some. The crowd is real big because the fight was over already. So the crowd is big as fuck in the MGM lobby. You feel what I'm saying? So a nigga like, that's where I see 40 at, and I had to chop up with 40. And I'm like, I totally get off the whole weed thing because we didn't have nothing to do after the fight. We wasn't finna go
Uh-huh.
to the 6-6. We wasn't going to the 662 club. You know what I'm saying? That's the Death Row, that's the Bloods club. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
So and Snoop and none of the homies came out to the fight. uh uh um Dash, Corrupt, nobody. The only people that was out there representing out of our Long Beach crew, out of Dog Pound crew, was me and Badass, the homie Lil Bo Dozier, who recently passed away, and my bro Japori, you know what I'm saying, passed away. That's who we was out there moving around with, you know. So we was looking for something to do. So when E40 invited us to his little function, because he wasn't going to the 662 either, he had his own function he was throwing. So we gonna go to 40. We go to Treasure Island, pack up our stuff. On the way to the Luxor, I end up seeing my homegirl Tina from my hood from Long
Mhm.
Beach. That's one of my homegirls who was one of Suge Knight's side pieces. You know what I'm saying? One of his little mistresses on the side. So I see her standing out crying. You know what I'm saying? Like she's like having a fit, having a fit. So I immediately tell my nigga Lil Bo, pull over. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what's up with my homegirl. Cause this is my homegirl from Long Beach and she out here in Vegas on the corner having a fit, crying. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But not only is she the homegirl, but she's a boss ass homegirl too. She's a boss. You feel what I'm saying? So I immediately jump out to check on her, like, what's going, what? And that's when she tell us. She
She
says,
tell you about Pac?
she told us that Pac and Suge had just got shot. You know what I'm saying? But and she was like, Suge got shot in the head. Suge got shot in the head. She was dating Suge at the time. So at that time, nobody knew that Suge had only got skint. He only got
Grazed, yeah.
grazed. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Everybody thought he got actually noodled, shot in the head.
Yeah,
Bullet
shot in the
penetrated his
head,
head.
yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh shit. While we trying to figure out what's going on, um, I forget who it was. Somebody had said something to us about, yeah, nigga, yeah. And they looking for niggas with California plates. Nigga, they own everything with California plates. And we was in the homeboy Lexus at the time with the
With
California
California
plates.
plates? Yeah.
So once we made sure Tina was straight, we figured out what's going on. We like, nigga, we out of here.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Outta
saying?
here.
We on the
We back to
freeway. You know what
Cali.
I'm saying? We back to Cali. I ain't going to E4. Our shit is already packed in the car because we was going from Treasure Island to the Luxor
Damn,
to go
that's
check in over
crazy.
there. So we was like, while we got the shit, man, we out of here, nigga. They looking for California plates. We riding dirty too. You know what I'm saying? Like last thing I need to do is get pulled over, and I just got out. Like no, nigga, let's get on the freeway. We out of here. On the
Damn.
way back is when Badass made the phone call to the homies to let the homies know what had happened. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I think he called Daz or somebody or Dog himself to let them know what happened. You know, but again, even even in that incident right there, that was some Buster shit. Should you know that you set Pac up for the okey doke? I'm not saying he set Pac up to get killed, but you knew that you was sending Pac over there onto the wrong nigga. You knew this. You know Baby Lane's reputation, nigga. I'm from
Yeah.
Long Beach and I fuck with him and I know this nigga reputation. You feel what I'm saying? You know his reputation. You know how this nigga tear up your little homies. You know how this nigga terrorizes Compton. You know that sending him over there to go bother him is gonna have way more consequences than y'all thinking y'all just gonna jump him and get away with it. But again, you an ignorant motherfucker and you live in your own ego of thinking you some big gigantic motherfucker and you didn't want to humble yourself and you sent your number one artist and you go over there and jump on a stone cold killer with zero tolerance. You feel what I'm saying? Zero tolerance and zero regard for taking another nigga's life. You
It
feel
was
what I'm
crazy is
saying?
Pac and Suge were not even friends before Death Row bailed him out. I guess Pac just felt some blind loyalty, to Suge because he bailed him out, but I
Yeah.
mean,
At the same time, Pac was having a slight wake up call towards the end himself. And what I mean by wake up call is that Kadada Jones, who he was dating, she was introducing him to a whole new world. Like
yeah,
she was finna take him over the threshold and really take him open up them doors for him. You know what I'm saying? Like take him to the other side of the industry. You know what I'm saying? Like you could come off this side that these niggas is stuck on. You feel what I'm saying? Snoop is about to be on this side. I'm finna, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna put you on this side. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to clean up, it's time you just take a whole different approach. You know what I'm saying? She was in his head about taking a different approach than what he was taking over here. It's sort of like the angel and the devil sitting on your shoulder. Kadada was the
yeah,
angel sitting on this side. Suge was the devil sitting on his side. Of course, if you're not spiritually strong, We
Mhm.
already know what's going to take over, especially when the person on this side is feeding vengeance into your head. I'll get these niggas back. Fuck them niggas. Look at them niggas. Them niggas want to be you. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas want to be you. Fuck all them niggas, man. Them niggas ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? You made that nigga. That nigga Biggie copying your style, nigga. You remember when that nigga wasn't shit, nigga? You remember when that nigga was, nigga, I remember that nigga was riding around with us Soul Train, trying to hang around Death Row, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That nigga wasn't, you know what I'm saying? He had that devil named Suge that was in his ear, feeding him
Yeah.
bullshit, feeding him bullshit, feeding him bullshit,
Taking
and
them down the
made
wrong
him
path.
yeah, and made him crash out. And that's what he did. He crashed out. When you ran up on Baby Lane, you crashed out. You sealed your fate. When you went running
That's
across
crazy.
that goddamn, your fate was sealed when you went running across that hotel lobby, finna go put your hands on the wrong nigga. Period, point blank. You know what I'm saying? I knew from day fucking one, from day one, well, I'm not gonna say day one when it happened, but I knew within 48 hours that it was no conspiracy. I knew within 48 hours that he was not on the island somewhere. It wasn't going to be no real Machiavelli disappearing act. I knew that within 48 to 72 hours that it wasn't no feds. It wasn't no big conspiracy. It wasn't no Illuminati conspiracy. It wasn't none of this shit that these motherfuckers undid to try to get clicks, try to sell their videos, or try to do all this old extra shit to make this Tupac story into some big conspiracy. That's not what the fuck it was. He fucked with the wrong nigga, and that nigga downed him. Bottom line. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what
That's what
really
I've always
happened.
said,
And
man. People try to say,
listen,
Suge had something to do with it. Did he say like,
listen,
nah,
bro.
man.
I'm telling you this.
He
I
was
got this from the horse's mouth.
he
The
got get back.
horse's mouth. When I say the horse's mouth, I mean the horse's mouth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, cuz, yeah. Nigga thought the nigga was playing, cuz. Yeah. You feel what
So
I'm saying?
before we go, I
Like,
got one more question though for you. So you got 3 albums out that
yeah,
you dropped, correct? Right? You had My Music, My Soul, 2010, Love for Free EP with Sabotage
sabotage.
of
Uh-huh.
2011 and Love for Free 2 EP with Mr. Milky. Are we expecting any future projects coming soon?
Now, those are what what you describe them in the latter. I don't look at them as albums. I look at them as
Okay.
projects. I look
Okay.
at them as projects. Those were not put out with the intent on doing anything except servicing the world with good music. That's it. That's what the whole space and creating all three of those projects. That's the reason, especially Loves for Free 1 and 2. Those were
Uh-huh.
free albums. Those
Okay.
albums came out, those albums were released, both albums were released in February of their respective years, and they both was released for free. They was free from Valentine's Day to the end of February. Then they were not available. You can't find those albums. Those
Okay.
albums are not on. They're not on streaming services. They're not on none of the digital platforms. That you can't find those albums if they like collectors items. If you didn't get Loves for Free during Valentine's when the album was available for free, then you just don't got it. Not unless you got it from
Yeah.
somebody else. If you didn't grab Loves for Free 2 during that time period of Valentine's when it was available for free, it wasn't
Mm-mm.
available for sale. It was available for free to anybody who wanted it. Free download, free to order it, whatever. It was available just for free. It was just good music that I was servicing out there. And I teamed up with a couple of partners of mine, you know what I'm saying, to just put out some good music, because each time, I feel that I just want to be able to utilize both sides of my gift, so
Okay.
I do a lot of rapping with the Dove Shack. I do a lot of rapping with the Dove Shack. You know what I'm saying? The Dove Shack got songs. You know what I'm saying? We do and we did a lot of live shows and whatnot, especially during the summertime. We even end up having our own festival for a few years. That's how much, we was on the stage. Um, but the singing side was just really coming on the hooks that I was doing on the Dove Shack album. You know what I'm saying? The only singing song I got really wholly on it is Summertime in the LBC. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people think that that's my vocal range,
Mhm.
and a lot of people never knew, and some still don't know that I sing. I don't just sing, I sang. You know what I'm saying? And I can run with the best of them. I can run with the best of them. And that's what those projects is to show. You know what I'm saying? That I can sing with the best of them. I don't care who you put me up against. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my fans, y'all know, I walk out on stage smoking a blunt and will sing a whole concert, you know what I'm saying? Like Johnny Gill or somebody else. You feel what I'm saying? And so I said that to say, that if I ever did decide to get into that space to where I
Uh-huh.
just really, really, really wanted to just drop a real serious R&B album, you know what I'm saying, and try to put it out there to shop to where I can get, on the Billboard charts, get nominated for a Grammy, you know, um, that's going to be a metamorphosis process. It's still in the pipeline. You know what I'm saying? I'm still creating. I still got a lot of music. I got new music that I got in the vault right now.
Okay.
But it's like a prize fighter. You know what I'm saying? Nobody just jumps in the ring and start fighting. They train. Any type of sport you in, you got to train to be ready. So there's a training regimen that I need to go through before I decide to work on that project. You know, shout out to Doc Holliday. Y'all, a lot of y'all might remember him from MTV's Making the Band, with Puffy. He was the vocal coach on there. The guy with the dreads, that was training Puffy's groups. He was my vocal
Okay.
coach long before that. And so he taught me a lot as far as training vocals and different things of that nature, and stuff that I have in my memory, but I don't really feel the need to utilize or exercise in the space that I've been in as far as singing hooks, doing features and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a walk in the park for me. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really, really a walk in the park for me. Like I said, I grew up idolizing Ray J's and Brandy's dad. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up as a child singing vocal ranges. You know what I'm saying? From falsetto to, you know what I'm saying, doing my vocal runs all the way down. You know what I'm saying? I was that child. I was that child, young child, talent show, you know what I'm saying, standing up at the church singing, what I'm saying. I want everybody to hear me sing. You know what I'm saying? So I have to do hooks and all that stuff is easy work as far as singing vocals. You know, my music, my soul. When I did that project again just to show it was to show my writing capabilities too, because everything
Mhm.
that I do, I write. There's only one feature or one thing that I've done that I haven't actually wrote. You feel what I'm saying? And that was Things Will Never Change for E40. You know what I'm saying? Because 40 already had that out, and Life of an Outlaw with Pop. You know what I'm saying? Um, them the only two that I didn't actually write and create what I sung. You know what I'm saying? Where I took suggestions. You know what I'm saying? The E40 one that was a remake of a old school song. The Things Will Never Change. I forgot the guy's name. Was it Bobby Caldwell or somebody like that who originally did that song? But everything else has been my writing and my creation. Every hook on the Dove Shack album, my creation. Every song idea, my creation. I pick out all the beats, you know, um, on that creative aspect. But I say within the next maybe year, 2 years, y'all are gonna get something new from Bo Rock as far as an R&B album that's gonna be an actual for real, for real, for real R&B album, not G Funk R&B. My music, my soul is G Funk R&B. You know what I'm saying? I was in my Nate Dogg bag when I did a lot of the songs on my music, my soul. You know what I'm saying? I was still in G Funk, hip hop R&B. If you listen to Loves for Free, um, which I'm gonna be re-releasing, you know, I think now would be a good time to re-release those projects and just make them available for people to be able to get and enjoy because it's been such a time period that they've been gone, and they haven't been available. So I'm gonna re-release so people can just get a feel for what those projects are, that G Funk R&B, that hip hop R&B. But
Hey, I hate to cut you
I'm
short. Can you give me 1 minute? I gotta run to the restroom.
okay,
1 second.
no problem.
Oh man, what happened to my camera? Yo, you still there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm here.
Yeah, sorry about that, man. I've been drinking so much water. I had to run to the bathroom. I'm about to pee on myself.
Oh man, I ain't mad at you. Got to take that bathroom break.
My background done went back on bad on me. So before we go, any shout outs you want to do though?
Um, yes, I wanna shout out the doveshack.com. I want to shout out my bros, Two Scoop, C Night, rest in peace, for setting us on this path, to be able to have and enjoy the life that I've enjoyed, which has truly been a blessing, undeniably, undeniably a blessing. Um, but I definitely want to shout out the fans, man. Like I said, it's humbling to me, and that's the reason like I said, I do those records and I gave those records away for free because I love my fans so much. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm still in awe about why people love that song so much.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like I still don't have the understanding for it. You know what I'm saying? It's truly a blessing because that's not the space it came from. Oh, I'm finna write this. This finna be a hit. This finna be a good big record. No, it was just really written from the heart. And it was something that was just supposed to be on the album way back, towards the end of the album. When it was created, I created it with the mind state to be like the second to the last song or the last song on the album, just something to take the album out with, you know? Nothing to become a significant factor in my life or other people's lives the way it has become, you know. And I'm glad, people sometimes feel that it's a bad thing, to have, oh, you only had one hit, you only had one hit. You know what? If I only have one hit for the rest of my life, I know for a fact that one hit made a difference in a bunch of people's lives in a positive way. You feel me? And
Yeah.
that's my main thing is that I feel that I was given this gift in the journey that I went through my life, the in and out of jail and all that stuff I went through was for me to be able to create Summertime in the LBC and put Summertime in the LBC out there in the world. You know, and when I get tagged in videos of 5-year-old children singing the whole words to the song. I get tagged on my IG of people sending me videos telling me that they can't ride in their car with their child that's in a car seat without playing that song, or the child will have a fit. Like my song is actually used to keep the baby calm,
Yeah.
when they ride in the car, things of that nature. People playing my song at their family members' funerals, and making a spectacle out of it. People playing my song at weddings and all these different things. And it's around the world. Like I see all these different culture, the Polynesian culture, the Samoan culture, the Hispanic culture, the Filipino culture, all these different cultures outside of my own that just pay homage to that song and just love and adore that song so much, you know. That's the main thing that just keeps me, just enjoying life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And that's what keeps me super appreciative of my fans, which is why I operate the way that I do, because I always want to be of service to my fans. I had a conversation with an artist not too long ago, after I did the single that's out right now with Daz and Be Legit. I got a single out with them. You know what
okay.
I'm saying? They like, hey, you still be going in there, going in, going in, going in. I'm like, that's the way it's always been. It don't matter if I do a song with an independent artist who got a $200 budget, $300 budget, or I'm doing a song with E40 or Snoop Dogg. You're gonna get the same bow rock. I am
Yeah,
going in that vocal booth to shit on that microphone. That's what I do. When every time I go in that vocal booth, my intention is to destroy that microphone, whether I'm singing or I'm rapping. And so it's, again, because I love my craft, and I love the fact that people love what I do. That's the main thing. To have people love what you do is such a cool thing, especially when it's a God-given talent, man.
that's what's up, man. I mean, true. You got to do what you love for people, to find true happiness. I know that if you're not doing something you love, I don't think you're ever really going to be happy in life.
Not happy, and definitely not successful.
Yeah,
you know um I was reading, what is his name, Reginald Lewis book. Reginald Lewis is his black brother
I've heard of them.
who, yeah, who ended up uh, purchasing Beech Nuts baby foods. Um, but in reading his autobiography and listen to one of the quotes that he had about people becoming successful in doing what they love, you know, and this quote wasn't created by him. It's a quote that he heard,
Hmm.
but most people who become super successful in life, as far as its job or business, it's because they love what they do. You cannot get up and go to a job that you dread and feel that you're going to become successful in that job. A person who does not like flipping burgers or French fries at
Yeah,
McDonald's will never go on to be the manager or an owner of a McDonald's franchise.
yeah,
If you go back and look at it, and here's a perfect example. What did they say? I believe it was 62 to 63% of McDonald's franchise owners are former McDonald's employees. A lot of people have gone on to own their own McDonald's who started off working at McDonald's. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah,
Those are people who loved what they were doing. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Everybody in the world can identify with him because you ran into him at the counter. Hi, can I take your order? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they just make you feel good. They don't make you feel, oh yeah, take your time. Go ahead. So we have a vast menu up here. They very helpful. They enjoying the work that they're doing, being in service. If you don't enjoy what you do, 9 times out of 10, you won't become successful in whatever you're doing. And that's not to say that you should quit your job, but
yeah,
sometimes you might want to try to, while you're working your job, explore what you love still, to see if you can turn that into a income, that a substitute for having a job. Whether you like designing clothes, if you like designing clothes when you get off work, on your lunch break, continue to try to design clothes if that's what your passion is. Same thing with music. In between your job, continue to make music. I got a homeboy named Jazzo the Juggernaut. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? He's a real inspiration to me. Knack Inc. You know what I'm saying? Because he consistently pushes for him. And he came out of a situation of sleeping on Skid Row. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? To working two jobs, You feel what I'm saying? At Target and working another job someplace else, but got his own clothing line out, got albums out, got his own studio, got his own clothing store. He stay pushing. He be in New York, New Jersey, everywhere, making noise, pushing his career out there because that's what he loved. So he's found a way to start making money off of what he loves, even though he punches a regular 9 to 5 job clock. And guess what's happening? He's becoming successful at what he loves. You
That's what's
feel
up.
me? So you can't do it if you don't love it. And I really feel a lot of rappers who rapping right now don't love rap. That's why we
They
got
don't.
that's why the
They
music
don't.
that's why the music industry is suffering. That's why we're getting so much trash music because they rapping for a check. They not rapping because they love being rappers or because they
Yeah.
love music or they love writing lyrics. It's like, no, you looking at this as how we used to look at sports back in the days as a way out of poverty. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
Yeah.
go to the NFL. I'm gonna go to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get myself out the hood. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna become a boxer. You know what I'm saying? And get myself out this poverty situation. I'm gonna go on and be successful in life. That's how people is viewing rap now. And the
Yeah.
doors, for some reason, well, I know I'm not gonna say for some reason, because they took away A&Rs, bro. I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing that hurt. Because they took away A&Rs, they made it a wide open door for anybody just to come in and become an artist. You know what I'm saying? A&Rs used to actually be the gatekeepers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and okay, yeah, you got it. Nah, you really don't got it. You should go work on this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna even come to your studio time and come in and tell you, no, you should do a song like this. You know what I'm saying? No, write your lyrics like to do this. A&Rs was the gatekeepers to between bullshit artists and real artists. You know,
Well, they
without
they
these,
took away the A&Rs though, because they literally stopped signing artists that weren't established yet. They only sign
yeah,
established artists. So if you got established artists, it's like they don't feel no need for A&R because they're not signing people, that you got to build from ground up no more.
well, let me tell you, I think what needs to happen because we all know there's a problem.
Mhm.
What nobody is coming with is a solution.
Nobody ever does. That's
I
always
th- I
excuses.
I think that we need to do a case study on the 1990s of, and I mean that for movies, I mean that for television, I mean that for music, for advertisement, for fashion. We need to take a hard case study on the 90s because society seemed to have peaked out in the 90s as far as the creativity aspect of a lot of things.
Yeah.
Look at TV shows nowadays. TV shows are remakes of other TV shows. Movies are
Yeah.
remakes of old movies. Fashion is reintroducing stuff that was already in the fashion, old style, old school, nostalgic. You know, um, even the artists that's dropping, the majority of artists that's blowing up, they blowing up off of doing what? Using somebody else's beat that was already out before,
Yeah.
using a song cadence of a song that was already out before. Even Cardi B new record, she got a hot new record. You know what I'm saying?
I checked
But
it
just
out.
like all the other new artists, it's a
The
song.
Jay-Z beat. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. No originality. You know what I'm saying? The originality has been lost because again, we have people that's not really passionate about the art form. They more so passionate about the wealth.
The fame and the money. That's it.
You know,
They just
yeah,
want
we
the
we
the
are
money and the
we are
attention.
a fame, money, and wealth driven society, and nobody is real meticulous or appreciative of work. You know what I'm saying? They're not meticulous about the work that they do, and they're not appreciative of the opportunity to actually give the fans something. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got the you yelled your whole life to have the mic, and minute somebody hands you the mic, you over there standing on the sideline. Man, give me the mic. Give me the mic, man. Let me rap. Let me rap. Let me rap. Let me rap, man. Give me the mic. Give me the mic. Okay, here go the mic. Uh, uh, what's up, y'all? Like, that's what you demanded the mic for? That's what all that was for? You know what I'm saying? You didn't have no preparation, no nothing about going about being an artist. And the music industry is really suffering from it, man. The whole entertainment business is suffering to the point now they're trying to find stars in the computer. They're trying to find AI stars. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna make a
Yeah.
star out of a computer. We're gonna have a star that's not even really a real person no more. We're gonna get away from that. Since don't none of y'all really want to put in the work to be a star, y'all just want it handed to you. You want it given because you got a lot of likes, a lot of followers. Excuse me. And I can tell you that a bunch of followers and a bunch of likes don't equate into a bunch of dollars if your talent is not there and you're not really giving people quality of your work, you know? So
It sounds like you're saying what I've been talking about lately, that artists, these human artists, they're gonna have to make better music to compete with AI.
they are. They are. You know why? I mean, if you look at it, look at Hit Boy. Hit Boy is rapping, calling out rappers and producers. You
Mhm.
feel what I'm saying? Hit Boy as a producer is rapping better than a lot of the rappers he done produced for outside of Nas. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
Like,
crazy.
like, 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 imagine Jazzy Jeff grabbing the mic and out rapping Will Smith. Imagine Eric B decided grabbing the mic and out rapping Rakim, or Jam Master Jay out rapping Reverend Run and DMC.
DJ Polo out rapping Cool G Rap, and
Yeah,
Show out
you know what I'm
rapping
saying?
AG.
No, see, they was perfection on their music, on their craft, what they did as far as making music, being on the creative with the instruments, the making of the music, the sound, and the artist was serious about what he did as far as being creative and all that. Artist is not even worried about being creative. If you going back to the new Cardi song, what is she rapping about?
Same shit.
That everybody else is rapping about.
Yeah.
Either some type of name brand something. You got to throw something name brand up
Yeah.
in there. You got to throw something luxurious up in there
I'm
pertaining
better
to
than
your
you
lifestyle.
bitches. I'm better
Yeah,
than you bitches.
yeah.
All that
You got
shit.
to put something up in there on that your life is better than the next person's
My
life.
coochie's the best.
Yeah, and it got to be something sexual up in there. Or when it comes to a dude, you gotta kill something. You got to kill something. You got to drill something. You got to beat somebody up. You got to do something violent. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, there is no creativity. There's no more special eds. You know what I'm saying? There's no more slick ricks. You know what I'm saying? There's no more the storytelling and the art of storytelling, how Scarface used to do. And you know what I'm saying? Um, it's just those days of people really taking their craft serious. Dead in the water. They take being a artist and a star more serious than being an actual artist and a creator.
Yeah.
You feel me? They want to be an artist and a star more so than an artist and a creator. And when you think about all the people that we call legends in
Mhm.
this industry, they were focused on being artists and creators, creating sounds, creating dance moves, creating trends, creating a feeling, creating moments in time. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got the used to get the best live stage shows back in the days where they was just going crazy. I watched what's the name a lot, MTV Live.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I had it on like just all day yesterday, and I'm just sitting there just tripping, just had to sit and just watch concerts. I was just watching concerts, and MTV Live shows a lot of back in the day concerts. And I'm like, wow, wow. Everybody damn near used to perform like that. Now, if somebody performs and put that effort, it's all that's talked about. Beyonce, Kendrick, or Drake. Not
Yeah.
all the artists are doing great shows like that. Not all the artists are putting forth this A1 effort on the stage. You know what I'm saying? They rapping to their tracks. You know what I'm saying? They're not really putting on a stage show or anything. Nobody takes their craft real serious like they used to. And that's it's kind of a sad day that people got to worry about a computer. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I remember, and please, nobody take this the wrong way. I'm not being racist, but I remember once upon a time there was a conversation about white people invading rap.
and other
Yeah,
races
yeah.
invading
And
rap.
that we were
You feel
fully
what I'm
taking
saying?
over. I remember
That
when they
used to
said
be
we
an
were taking
actual
over.
conversation.
Yeah, they said white people were taking over rap. Like what white rappers were taking over around the Mac Miller time. And I'm like, come on, pump the brakes. It's still just a
Yes,
handful of us.
yes,
Just a handful of us.
yes. That used to be a big thing to say back then.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I'm saying? People
Now
came to
it's AI.
realize, oh damn, okay, there's white rappers is just as good as black rappers. Just
Yeah.
like back in the days, they realized with Michael McDonald and Dave Cos, they realized, oh, it's some white guys who can sing just as good as black guys. You know what I'm saying? With the same soul. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They look at Boney James and some of these cats. Oh, these are jazz guys that's just as good at this jazz as the black guy. Same thing when Eminem came along and the Mac Miller and a bunch of other cats. Oh, these white guys rap just as good. Okay, yeah. See, that's okay. So we shouldn't have had no problem letting them in the first place because goddamn it, MC Search been around. Beastie Boys was the foundation of fucking hip hop. You feel what I'm saying? So that
Well,
conversation quickly died.
and you
How
can't
is that
forget Rick
conversation gonna
Rubin.
die about an
You
AI?
can't forget Rick Rubin. To me, when like Rick Rubin is like the white dude that kind of really
Yeah,
set it
yeah,
off for
yeah,
me.
yeah. Most definitely that. Most definitely that. There is nothing without Rick Rubin.
Yeah,
You right
especially
with
not the
that.
Beastie Boys and whatnot. So we about to wrap it up though, man. We hour 30 in. We probably could talk all night long, man. To be honest with you,
There we go.
but you know, Instagram sometimes it kick
Yes,
you off
man.
after
Yeah,
a
yeah,
couple
man.
hours.
Oh
But
yeah, it's all good.
yeah, I appreciate you taking the time out. Anytime you drop any new music, I'm gonna send you my email if you want to send it over. I do live music reviews on Saturdays, and if you ever want to come back on, please do, man.
Oh, most definitely. Send me your email. I'll send you over some new stuff for you to check out right now. You know, I'm gonna send you over them projects too that you're not able to get. You know what I'm saying? I email them over to you.
Okay.
So you can check them out. And see what I'm on because those projects and the reason I did them that way because what I made on those projects was timeless music. You know what I'm saying? I made those albums. You read the dates off them. I can drop those albums right now today, and people would think I went in the studio yesterday and recorded that
Yesterday
music.
did it. Yeah.
You know, so I appreciate the opportunity, man. Everybody,
Yep.
y'all make sure y'all go support. Go to thedoveshack.com. That's the DOVESHACK.com. Check out the new merch. Especially if you from Long Beach, I got the new Long Beach. I've came with the first fly club like casual gear for the city of Long Beach. But for all the fans out there, just so y'all know, we're not the typical just artist clothing brand. Excuse me. I may not have the funds or the promo that a Kanye West has, but we on that same level. You know what I'm saying? The same manufacturers. I use the same manufacturers that Kanye West and Essentials use. So if you like Yeezy material, if you think Fear of God and Essentials is good quality material, if you think
Mhm.
some of Yeezy stuff is good quality material, if you think Balenciaga and some of that stuff is quality material, yes, the Dove Shack has the same manufacturers producing the Dove Shack merchandise. High quality material, 400 GSM t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? Super thick. You know what I'm saying? We got suede t-shirts on there. Like I said, it's high quality material. This is not your typical t-shirt, print on demand style uh, uh, um, service. You know what I'm saying? This ain't them thin joints you get, you know what I'm saying, when you go to a concert that you wash them a couple of times. Well, it's a lot of some of our stuff can't even be washed. You got to dry clean it. You know what I'm saying? It's
Okay.
dry cleaning only. You know what I'm saying? We on that level with it. So y'all make sure y'all check us out. We got something for the kids. We got something for the men on there. We got something for the young ladies on there. You know what I'm saying? It's something for everybody, for all the fans of summertime in the LBC. If you just fans of West Coast music, or if you just a music fan, you know what I'm saying? We got something for everybody on there. You can be in whatever state that you in. You can just be a fan of music. I got stuff on there that just pertains to fan of music, period. Whether it's hip hop, country, western, or whatever it is, I pay homage to music. You know what I'm saying? With a lot of our designs. And so, me and my girl actually sit and create everything. Everything, every design you see on the shirts and all that is created by us. We don't hire nobody. We don't use AI. These not AI pictures. These are pictures that we sitting up and we sitting on things like Kittle and these till 3, 4, 5 in the morning designing shit. You feel what I'm saying? This is
That's
coming
what's
from
up.
straight me and her artistry on design. You know what I'm saying? So y'all just know that you're getting quality material, quality merchandise, high end merchandise that is distinctly coming from a human mind of creativity. So we would appreciate y'all's support, and I guarantee you, you will not regret going to get anything on there because I'm competing with everybody. I put my clothes up against anybody, even like I said, Balenciaga, anybody. You know what I'm saying? I got the same material. They don't got nothing better than what I got.
That's what's up. Well, I appreciate you, man. You're a friend of the show. Like I said, I'm gonna send you the email. Anytime you want to come back
Please
on,
do.
just let me know.
All right, for sure.
I enjoy the
I
rest of your day,
appreciate you having me.
man.
You
I
too, man. And peace out
anytime.
to y'all out there.
I appreciate it.
All right.
All right, peace. Well, there you have it. Bo Rock of the Dove Shack. Go to doveshack.com. Before I wrap it up, I'm gonna get into a quick dizzle break and we'll be right back.
That dizzle ain't no joke, got me addicted, ain't no coke. Let's just have a toast. Anybody want some smoke? Cause it's up, I be dizzled up. Catch me sipping with my double cup. Can't just have one, you gotta double up. You pour it, gotta watch it bubble up. I ain't gon' lie, I cannot get enough. When Callie said I need another one, gon' have you coming back for more. But go get it while it's hot, before it be sold out in your stores. That dizzle.
That's right. I really mean it. You could dizzle too. Dizzle's a premium luxury liqueur mixed with agave tequila, cognac, and orange liquor mango mix. So your dizzle on ice and it's nice. Want to order your very own bottle or bottles? Go to dizzlebrand.com. Click on the online order link on the homepage. That'll take you to Emilio's Beverage. Must be 21 and over. Shipping and handling is included. Also, the Dizzle brand merch, like t-shirts like this one. I got Dizzle established 2001. I like this one. It kind of reminds me of the old Brooklyn t-shirts, like Brooklyn Dodgers. And we got hats, hoodies, and much more. Very interesting interview, man. Really nice guy. Um, Interesting to know that G Funk was started by cocaine for above the law. Did not know that. Warren G was definitely the guy that took it to, um, I guess you could say, mainstream commercial appeal. And they were basically featured on Warren G's first album, like he said, because they replaced Dog Pound. So that was a really good opportunity for them to replace Dog Pound on the Warren G album. Signed with Def Jam, G Funk Def Jam. And of course, you heard him say that when he got out of Pelican Bay, they was around for some of the Death Row days, and he did tell the story about being at the MGM Grand when Pac was there at the same time, and literally finding out you know that Pac got shot and killed, and of course we know how that affected hip hop, and I would say that Pac getting killed probably like set this thing in motion for Biggie getting killed. I know most people say Biggie should have never went to the West Coast so soon, but you know, I'm of the mind that you can't be scared to go somewhere. You can't fear going somewhere on this planet. You can't fear going somewhere. You know, I mean, you could walk out the house and get hit with a stray bullet. You can walk out the house and get struck by lightning. Um, you know, even though Pac did pretty much bring it on himself, because this was retaliation. Conspiracy theories said, Suge had something to do with it. I don't know that if I wanted to have somebody killed, I would try to get a bullet graze my head. That doesn't really make sense. I understand sometimes you got to sell it, but I don't know that Suge would want to, possibly take the chances of losing his own life just to kill Pac. Because I mean, a bullet grazing your head, an inch over to the left or the right or whatever it may have been, could have been far more devastating. He could have literally been dead too. But conspiracy theories when Pac died, they were saying because of the Machiavelli album, he faked his death. And I guess it sounds good, being that Pac was facing prison time. And even though he got bailed out, he might have ended up doing some time in prison. But a few years in prison, unless he was going to do like 25 to life, if it's just going to be like a couple years in prison, that's not really worth you faking your death just to disappear, in my opinion. But yeah, great interview. Appreciate Bo Rock for taking the time out. And I'm going to get off here. We're going to clip up some clips. And I will be doing live music reviews tomorrow. Make sure y'all submit to livefromfayettenam@gmail.com. I repeat, submit to livefromfayettenam@gmail.com. MP3 only. And I will be doing music reviews probably around 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next week, we got DJ Jam, DJ for Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, their official tour DJ. And we also just booked, I think it's Kyron. I want to make sure I get his name right. Don't want to get the name wrong. Let's pull up here. It's not pulling up, but I think it's Kyron, aka Solo, of Screwball. Screwball is one of my favorite hip hop groups of all time. And sorry about having to run to the restroom in the middle of the podcast, but I was either about to have to pee on myself or pee in a cup or run to the restroom. So I decided we're not gonna pee in the cup on the podcast. And I'm definitely not gonna pee on myself on the podcast. So we'll just run to the restroom real quick. But we about to wrap it up. We about to hit that 2-hour mark. Usually the interviews don't go this long, but it is what it is. Sometimes the interviews do go long because the artist has a lot to say, has a really good story. But appreciate y'all tuning in. We about to wrap it up. Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursdays, if we got interviews Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Saturdays, 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for music reviews. And don't forget, also go follow Paul Pickett Podcast. If you like combat sports and bare knuckle fight interviews, go follow me as well. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Peace, and I'm out.